Hey everybody, welcome to our Sunday Night Live. As you can see, tonight we have Dwayne with us because we were not sure if Rebecca was going to be able to make it and he was going to fill in. And Rebecca can only stay for about 30 minutes or so it worked out that just right. So, Rebecca, you want to say hi since you weren't here last week?
Hi, I have been kind of absent for the last couple weeks. I've been helping out with the flood.
It worked out that just right.
Oh, hang on. Sorry.
Rebecca, you want to say hi since...
All right, sorry. It's been crazy. Yeah, I've been gone for a couple weeks. I've been kind of absent from everywhere. I'm trying to help out with the Louisiana floods situation. So while I'm not directly affected, I do have lots of friends and family that are 65 to 80 miles away from me that all need my help. So as we speak, I have some people cooking, barbecuing for people at my house. So I don't want to take too long away from them, but I'm thankful that you can be here to help cover, and I'm excited, so thank you for that.
Very good.
Dwayne, you want to say hi, anything before we...
No, go ahead. Hi guys, I'm here. Yep, filling in for when it needs to be filled in, and looking forward to a good show.
And actually, I'm going to ask the viewers a question, and I know certain ones are going to be like, what the F? But since everybody seems to have thought or is getting confused between the Wednesday night showtime and tonight, and to help Dwayne out for when and if Rebecca can't make it and he wants to jump in and be my co-host and maybe make it a permanent spot, we are thinking about moving this an hour later. So instead of 9 o'clock Eastern time, we'd be starting at 10. How does that sound to everybody that watches? And if you want to leave a comment after the show's over in the comments when you watch it during the week, it'll help us decide what we're going to do for the show. So everybody can be, not necessarily, I can't even think of the word now. Well, they just can't, everybody can be handled because like you said, the way you push your dinner back an hour before when you come on to help. So by not doing that, you get to have your dinner on regular time with your family. Rebecca might have Mondays that might be difficult, but she said she would work with whatever we can do. So it's up to you guys, the viewers. What time would be better for you?
Well, so far it looks like Tanya and Chad said this time is better. Amelia says later. And that's all that I've said so far. So we'll have to take count at the end of the show and see what the people want.
I'll re-ask again near the end, and like I said, I knew Chad was going to complain. He already complains about Wednesday night starting late. So.
Oh, and then we got somebody saying 1 hour earlier.
Yeah, I don't think I can start at 6 o'clock our time, Vaughn. Vaughn is,
I don't think so. That would mess up my Sunday dinners, so I couldn't do it then. But whatever, we'll like I said, we'll look through what everybody wants and make a call and let you guys know.
Yeah, Chad said, do it best for me, and then he said, complain and laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Oh no, most of the time it's not necessarily complaints. He works so hard that by 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock his time, he's tired. So, but I do have 3 topics that I pulled out tonight, and they can all basically tie into the first one. And actually, Chad gave me the 4th one in regards to his Lego scenario that he went through today or this weekend. So the one I have is common sense. Where did it go? Because there was one post in the group, and I know it was a sarcastic post, but it still got to me in that we heard all these different clips about if you don't list it, it's not going to sell. Well, yeah, and I said that's common sense. Why would you? I was like, why would you even bring it up? Every time he's funny, sarcastic, because there are people that don't necessarily know that. They think you just gotta list it and throw it up and just sits there, list it and forget it. So they don't know that if you do it every day or X amount of days, you'll get sales. So, what are your thoughts on that? We'll start with Rebecca.
I missed the actual post because I've been kind of, off in water, waiting. But what can you tell me exactly what the post was, or maybe Dwayne should go first because I've kind of been out of it.
Wait, Dwayne, do you remember that post, or did you see it when I mentioned it to you earlier?
I took a look at it, but I'm kind of clueless. Other than it, like you said, those kind of questions, it does make you wonder where the common sense is. What, are we that far gone as people that we don't catch the common sense of some of the questions we ask? Because I've seen a lot of questions that, yeah, you look at it and I don't understand where they're, why is that a question when it is common sense, the answer. And that would be one of them, is like you said, that, well, if you list it, or if you don't list it, it won't sell. Well, obviously you can't buy it unless it's out there being, on the platform. But I worry about our whole society, because like Chad says in the chat there, common sense is out and entitlements in. So yeah, it's getting bad.
And Rebecca, just to let you know what the post was basically, the person said that there was a tip that he always hears us saying, or hears people saying, you can't sell it if it's not listed. And he said, is this true?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I get a lot of questions, like Dwayne was saying. Sometimes you wonder, like, is this person being sarcastic, or do they really not know? The most common thing that always comes up, because remember I came from the storage auction buying background, is people buy units and don't bring cash and don't bring locks, and it's like, well, what did you think was going to happen here? It's just kind of funny. I guess it is that it's a sense of entitlement, or maybe people just aren't logistical and don't prepare step by step by step by step. I don't know. I think maybe it's society in general, and that's really, really sad. But I mean, on the bright side, if our competition doesn't know what they're doing, I guess that's a little bit better for us.
Sure.
Well, like Chad said, the person that posted, and I know it was a sarcastic post, but it's just, there are people that are losing their jobs or whatever's making them have to get into reselling to survive, and they may not know that that's what you have to do, is list every day or every couple of days. Like I listed Friday. We worked throughout the week, and I got 5 things up, and they were all up Friday. So I didn't get list every day, but I'm at least being active doing other things in my store, which is supposed to help you get sales too. So that's what there's certain ones like that. I'm trying to be the helpful person, but then when I respond, sometimes some people make comments about me responding, saying I just say, duh, whatever, and it's like, well, I'm trying to be helpful to the ones that don't know.
Right, so, and in the chat they say that he was being sarcastic, but even still, even if we're not talking about this particular question, just some of the questions you look at and you think, are they really asking this? I mean, is this really a question? And then, like Chris says, when you do answer it, then you kind of feel odd whether or not you're actually answering the question, or just playing along with the person's actual question. So some of them, yeah, they're just they're crazy questions, and you think, wow, if you're asking this question, you're not going to be in this business very long. But yeah, that's what I get. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, like I said, I knew it was being sarcastic and he was probably trying to be funny, but just the way my brain works, I want to help, so I answer questions. Just like on another post that chatted, as we put underneath my answer, said good answer because somebody was asking about Goodwill or something or other, and they said, well, what areas are good in Goodwill to find items? And I said, whichever area you have a knowledge in. That way, if you have knowledge in clothes, then you work in the clothes section. If you have knowledge in toys, you do the toy section. It's not like we can answer you where to go. It's common sense. Whatever I have knowledge in. If I don't have knowledge in something, I may work on it to build up my knowledge, but I'm going to stick with what I know to at least try getting some bread and butter items up or in the house anyway.
Sure. So coming from a storage background, do you have any other strange questions like that, or things that baffle you when they come up with it, the question in front of you?
All the time, and I tried to write a blog to help people, and that was my main purpose in the beginning, was like to just kind of, first it was like to tell my friends and family what I was up to, and then it kind of became to like help people, and then the more and more I kind of saw it, and the more I realized people weren't really paying attention and listening and reading anyway, then I kind of got a little snarky with it. But all the time, like, hey, do we really have to pay for this? Or, hey, do I really have to buy everything in the unit? Can I just leave some stuff? Like, just the number one, like, besides the locks and the money, the thing that always gets me is that people want to buy a unit, bid on the unit, and then before they go to the office to pay for the unit, they want to, before the paperwork transfer is complete, they want to, like, start going through the unit. And I'm always like, don't do that. It drives me crazy because you're opening yourself up for liability, number one, because if the tenant does come in and pay their money right away that day, it nulls your sale, and they can say, well, you broke my, $80,000, French vase that was in there, whatever. And then you're liable for it. But on top of that, it's like, you wouldn't go to Dillard's. I use this example all the time. You wouldn't go to Dillard's, try on a dress, decide you liked it, and then walk with it on your body out to your car to get your wallet. That would be considered theft. So why is it okay to, like, go to the storage unit when you've paid for it? Like, it's insane to me. It really is.
So Dwayne, what are you thinking about this when somebody asks about that? What is the best session to go to in Goodwill? Would you have said the same I basically is? It's
Well,
knowledge.
I mean that's a purely opinionated question because everybody's going to pick something different. It's whatever that you sell, wherever you think you can make money. That's the best place. If you think you can make money in vintage electronics, then that's where you should go. If you sell clothes, then that's where you should go. I say the whole store is a money trove. You just got to figure out what you want to sell, out of it. There is no best place. The best place is whatever works for you.
Hey, Dwayne, you want to do any shout-outs before we
What's
go on
that?
to the next one? You want to do any shout-outs?
Oh, yeah, I can do some shout-outs. Holy smokes. Been a while. Let's see. We got Turtle Trader, Coco Chanel, The Crazy Kid. Of course, Chad is here. Prof Sales. Let's see. Let's go up a little bit further. Chris Piles in the house. Haven't heard from him much. Yvonne. A lot of the normal people. Swamp Pickers. I already said the Crazy Card. Future Apple is a new person, so she or he or she, I don't know which it is, had said that this was their first show, so welcome. Let's go a little further. Going on Grumpy. I know Black Eyed Joe was in here way earlier. I think that's about everybody that I can see. If I missed you, I'm sorry. We'll catch you. Or you can say hello in the chat, and I'll shout you out in a minute. I'll see here some more Storage Heroes, Thrifty Bros.
Storage Heroes is
Rebecca, by the way.
Huh? Oh, that's you. Duh. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, it's been a hard day. So Nell, is it Nellie? So hello all, welcome. Let's see. What do you got, Chris?
Another one that was the reason I said it would tie into the common sense was being too concerned with negative feedback and how it can affect you, which in a way it won't because we're not getting defects because of them anymore.
Correct. Depending on the negative feedback, the feedback itself doesn't affect you anymore, but sometimes what they're complaining about would, if it was a shipping issue or concern like that. Me personally, I think it just tells me how I'm doing. Granted, it doesn't worry about whether it's my top-rated seller or whether I get kicked off or anything. But to me, it tells me how I'm doing. Am I doing a good job doing customer service? And then, of course, you'll get some of the weird, people that are going to give you a negative no matter what, and you can kind of, shuffle those out. But that's what I use it for now is just to let myself know that I'm still doing a good job.
Rebecca, you want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree, and that's a really good way to look at it. Like, I really like that Dwayne said to use it as a personal gauge because the first thing I do when I get negative feedback is to look and see, is it credible? Does this person have a valid complaint about the shipping time or a valid complaint about the item? Put myself in their shoes. Maybe I could have worded it differently. Maybe I could have packaged it differently. So it's nice to have that kind of learning feedback from the customer. But, you're always going to get that jerk, and the more people you sell, for every 100 people you sell to, you're going to have one or two jerks, no matter what you do. And the more you sell, the more jerks that you're going to end up selling to, and certain categories are worse than others. But all you can do is the best that you can do, and if you're doing 100% what you can be doing, and you know that you're always trying to learn from your feedback, really the only other thing that you can do is I always put a little note in my packages when I can that just says, hey, handwritten. I used to put like pre-typed cards, and I found that wasn't getting me as good of feedback, but I always write a really quick one-liner. Thanks for the order. I hope you enjoy it. Please reach out if you have any problems. And I find that has like completely turned around my feedback. And if I forget to put it inside, I just write it on the outside of the box. I put my little website on it. That way people who see the box, handle the box, might go, storage heroes, what's that? Like, I'll look that up, So that's really been helpful to me. And if you are good as all you can do, and you put that little extra note or that little extra gift or that little extra something in your packaging, that's all you can do, So at that point, you've done all you can, and it's up to fate after that.
Well, the person that posted said he had 30-day return, and the guy did not use it. He didn't even reach out to try talking to him about what the issue was. He just flat out gave my negative. All I said was, generate it with sales and just forget it. And he's like, well, that's my first one in X amount of years since I last one. And I'm like, well, the problem is, it's like, I've had one negative the whole time I've been on eBay. And I don't even sell as much as the big names.
Well, as a society, like, that's kind of like what we look for. We listen to negative more than we listen to positive, and it's the reason why Simon Cowell was the popular judge in American Idol. Like, nobody gave a crap what any of the other judges said. They wanted to hear what Simon thought because they knew he was gonna like be brutally honest all the time, and that's kind of what people remember. You never go, oh, somebody said I was great today. You could go, she said she didn't like my dress, and what does that mean? We're always worried about like negative comments. For one thing, if you have really good feedback on eBay all the time and it's like an isolated incident, I have now 5 times, maybe 4 to 5 times, gotten eBay to remove that negative feedback. So definitely give them a call and definitely see what they'll do. They oftentimes will look and see like, yes, there was a carrier error, or yes, you're in a bad area, or yes, this person's an asshole, or whatever. Like, so they can kind of see that stuff on their end too. If this is a person who complains about every single thing that they buy, they can see that. So, definitely try to reach out to them and see if they can fix it. A lot of times on eBay, I find it's buyer's remorse. It's so easy to just click a button, you know, and buy something, and then when you get it and you realize you spent $100 you don't have, you're like, oh crap, you know. So they just, it's common sense again. Like, they don't understand that putting negative feedback is something that can't, you know, that hurts us, and they just think it's like a way to like cancel their sale. Just like when people bring something back to the store, they don't just bring it back. They always have to like knock it down. Like, they don't understand that a store will just return an item. They have to be like, oh, it smells bad, or oh, it's, you know, or let me break it so that you can see it's damaged. Let me damage it. So, you know, it's like, just bring the item back and keep it as is so that someone else can own it down the line. It's just, it's lack of common sense in general. But don't let it get to you, and try to get it, you know, taken off if that's possible. It happens all the time.
Yep, absolutely.
We got a comment from Chad if you want to read it, Dwayne.
The one about the return?
Yeah.
Okay. He just got a return request for Gap item.
GSP.
Oh, okay. A GSP item to New Zealand for a sunlight that is 120 volts. They said they bought a plug adapter, plugged it in, and it doesn't work. Common sense. They run on 220. Yeah, well, that, I don't know if that's really buyer's remorse. That's just not reading and not understanding, you know, where you live, because obviously it's going to burn up. So if they put 120 into a 220 plug, so whoopsie.
Yeah, so I don't know what eBay is expecting him to do, since it is GSP. It should be. He got it to Kentucky. What else are they going to do with it?
Right. I don't know. That would be interesting to find out how that's handled, because you can't really return. I mean, I guess you could accept the return, but it's burned up. I mean, it's not going to work.
Right.
So Chad will have to keep us informed on how that works out, how eBay handles it, especially through the GSP. So that's craziness. There's crazy people everywhere, I swear.
My boyfriend loves South Park, and I'm not really a huge South Park fan, but there's the South Park episode that I just saw the other day, and it's about Yelp, and it's kind of making fun of Yelp. Have any of you seen it? Comment if you've seen it. And it basically, like, in South Park, they got Yelp, and it started out as people just giving genuine, honest reviews, like, oh, I like this restaurant, or oh, I don't like this restaurant. And when the Yelp reviewers realized that if they gave a bad review, the restaurant would, like, kiss their butt and give them free everything, then they all started going around to restaurants going, this restaurant is awful. What are you going to do for me to keep me from giving you a negative review? Free food? That's not good enough. Wash my car, you know? So a lot of times it's people just not understanding, not following directions, trying to get something for nothing. But, you know, it's good to be clear in your description, because if you say this only runs on 220, you know, it's like the reason why there's a thing on blow dryers that say do not use in the bathtub, you will electrocute yourself. It's a shame that people have to say that, but it's very good to just be as specific as possible. I don't know if you agree, Dwayne.
No, I agree. I think there's always that 5% of people in the world that just, you have to spell it out. You know, coffee is hot when you get it at McDonald's. You know, I mean, really? No shit. That's why I buy it there, is because it's hot. But you know, because of one person getting burnt at some point, you know, you have to tender to the lowest denominator, and unfortunately, it's just that way. So much sue happy people in this world trying to get a buck.
Absolutely. Dummy proof.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm replying to some comments.
There's somebody, Glenn's talking to Rebecca about something.
What?
Swamp sent the message. Sent something to Rebecca in the chat. So.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said me. I'm like.
Okay, Corey. I know Rebecca's got to go in about 5 minutes or so. See how fast it goes, Rebecca?
Do I what?
It goes. The time goes by fast. You're getting ready to leave already.
I know, it really does. Like, I miss you guys. It's been, you know, a week or two, and so I'm like really into it. But yeah, there's a lot going on here right now. So definitely, it's about priorities sometimes.
Was about low feedback, low ball offers. that was another post, and I know that a lot of the shows have talked about it. There's videos about it. There's posts everywhere about it. Just ignore them, or set it. There's another common sense one. Just set up the auto decline, or just decline it. Don't even worry about it. Just at least it's action on your listing. It's something going on. You're not sitting here. Why am I not getting this? Why am I not selling? Well, at least you're getting questions. You're getting requests to lower your price. Granted, you may
Well,
not want to make money at that price, but at least you're getting action.
sure. And a lot of times, I've had this happen a lot of times. I'll have a $50 item up. Somebody will throw a low ball offer at $5. So I'll counter offer at 45, and they'll buy it. I think they're just testing the water to see how low I would go. And like you said, sometimes you take it, sometimes you don't. You don't have to take it any which way. But if it's been a long week and you haven't sold a single thing, and you're like, I really need $85 or $50, and you'll take it. A lot of the things that we buy it for $5, $10. So I mean, we're making our money no matter what. So it's crazy how people really stress about the lowball offers, and if it is so bad that you're getting constant lowball offers, eBay has a thing for you. It has an auto decline. You can set that at whatever point you want. If you want it to be 20% under, or you can set it so you won't get the super lowball offers. You'll just get the semi lowball offers. So it's again, that's kind of the common sense thing. It's the other thing is you also, a lot of times in this business, you have to think like the buyer. Hey, I'm going to throw out a lowball offer. Maybe he'll take it. The worst he can say is no, right? That's the way I think about it. And as a reseller, I think, okay, well, he threw out a lowball offer. I'll throw out a maybe not as low offer as I would have had he been a little closer to the middle. It's all personal choice, and like I said, eBay has a way to narrow that down so that it's not as big of a pain. And if it really is that big of a pain, you can always take it off. So I'm sure that's been hashed over 10, 15, 20 times in the chats and in the different groups, but that's what I say about it.
Rebecca, you want to give us your opinion before you head out?
What were we talking about? I'm sorry. I was listening, but then
The lowball offers on Best Buys.
I mean, honestly, some people overlist. So, I mean, there's no harm in trying. I mean, we wouldn't be good pickers if we didn't try to get the lowest price possible, and you can't fault someone else for trying to do that as well. I mean, there's a difference between them compromising and them being super stubborn. So if they're saying, hey, I want to buy this for 10% of the price, and that's all I'll give you, you're not going to sell this shit, you better do with me now, you're never going to sell this, then yeah, they're a jerk. Forget them, But if, who can blame them? I will say that either way, that studies have been done that if you give somebody a reason, they automatically, usually 90% of the time, agree. So, for example, if you say, hey, can I buy this for $10? People are like, no. If you give somebody what sounds maybe like a BS answer, like, hey, I want this for $10 because my granny's in the hospital, and, probably not. But if you give somebody an honest answer, hey, I'm a reseller, I've had a lot of these, they've not sold for too much, will you consider $10? Yes. Or, no, I don't want to sell it to you for $10 because I just sold one for $24. Here's that sale. Here's the screenshot. So if you give a why, you usually do better. But no, you can't blame them for trying.
Right, and it can, like Tanya says, it can be the, if you do counter offers, it can just be the starting point of the negotiation. You don't want to start the negotiation on your side really high and them really low when you're going to meet in the middle. So it's just a negotiation starter in my case, in the way I figure it.
And like Gail Richardson said, some folks are too emotional to be resellers. You can't take things personally. It's business.
That's for sure. Yeah, you have to have a thick skin sometimes.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of I had a post that they say, well, I have to vent. I'm mad. And yes, venting is fine, but to blame the buyer or something else, or not work find a way to work it into your favor, it's on you in a roundabout way, to me anyway, because you have to adjust to what is going on in your business. So, oh, Rebecca, it is 8:30, and that's when you said you were going to have to leave.
Yeah, I'm really going. I'm sorry. I wish I could stay longer. Dwayne, you're awesome. Like, it's in good hands. I'm so happy. You.
Well, thank you.
And y'all, just please, please, please pray for these people in South Louisiana. If you believe in God, please pray. If you don't, please research and see what you can do. I mean, it's really, really bad. There are 200,000 people that have lost absolutely everything. They did not have flood insurance. It's bad, 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 and there's still people that are getting rising water. I have a friend tomorrow who I actually have to drive into a park to meet someone on a bicycle that will then meet someone on a boat because she's been trapped with her 3 children in her house for 7 days and no one has sent a single piece of aid to her. So it's really, really frightening down here, and we appreciate even if you just spread the word and share something on Facebook. That would mean all the world to us because people just don't realize quite how bad it is down here. So, thank you guys. Good night. See you later.
Hopefully we'll see you next week, and if not, we'll talk during the week anyway to find out what's going on and stuff like that.
Sounds good. I'll check in. Bye, you guys. Have fun.
See ya.
Well, now that Rebecca left, and not that it's a good thing, you like having her here for a third opinion.
Sure.
The other topic was Chad's Lego set, Harry Potter set. That I don't know if you saw that post, Dwayne.
I did see it. Yeah.
Well, he did make the sale, and he wanted to have us talk about the thought process of, like we talked about before the show, of listing it with building it or not type of thing. What's the common sense thing to do?
Well, one of the other things that I thought of was when I saw this was, how much is my time worth? Because a lot of times us as resellers, we don't think of our time as money, but we really need to, because if you know, like he had said in some of the chat on associated with that post, you know, if he spent the time to do that, first of all, if you're not really good at Legos, which I'm not, it would probably take me, 3 weeks, and all that time spent, is it really worth what you're going to get out of it? What is your time worth? Some people actually put a number on it. I think I can't remember if Chad said or not, but I believe he said, he does $100 an hour, and I don't know if that was teasing or not. But if that's what your time is worth, then is it worth $100 to put that thing together? Is it worth $100, or is it worth to have somebody else put it together for $25? Have your kid put it together.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that, is because one of the things that he said to me on Facebook before I X'd out was that he actually put an ad on Craigslist for a Lego builder. He ended up doing it himself anyway, and it sold within 4 hours for, I'm not going to, he already posted how much it sold for, so if you're in the Research Society, you'll just find his post and you'll see how much he made on it. Well, he'll talk about it Tuesday, I'm sure. But he actually put the work in and did it himself, and now he can say he actually did it. And we talked about it, and I said that you said he could just did the bags or counted it and all of that, like other people suggested on his post.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I did the opposite. I said, well, yeah, you could do that, but by showing it as built in this listing, that when the buyer says, oh, there's pieces missing, you can say, here I have it, showing it all together, so there can't be any pieces missing. Sure.
In a cover your ass kind of way, for sure. That gives you, proof. And I'm sure, depending on what the situation is would depend on. I don't know if I would have put it together. I would have taken pictures of it and probably sold it that way. That's the way I would have done it. But I may have said, of course, in my listing, I'd say, not assembled, not, I'm not 100% sure it's all here. And I probably would have sold it for less than Chad. If you can go that extra mile and you can get that extra money. You just have to decide, is that really worth your time?
Well, I don't know how much he paid for it, but he said in the chat he put it for $300.
Oh, that's nice.
And he said that the picture helps showing it built. So
right, and then right below that he says it depends on the value difference between complete and incomplete. Sure, I mean if an incomplete one is going for $12 and a complete one's going for $300, then yeah, I think I would probably put it together, make sure it's all there, because then that's a huge difference. But if it's a $275 versus $300, and you bought it for $1 or $10, I can't remember what you bought it for, Chad. I think it was like $40 or something, wasn't it? Anyway, either way, you have to decide whether or not incomplete versus complete. And Chad talks about this kind of stuff all the time with his electronics. You can sell it for a lot more if you can prove it works. And you're covering your ass when you do that, because if you send it to the person and it doesn't work, or they test it out and it doesn't work. I think it's all based on the person and what exactly, what your time is worth and whether you're looking for that extra profit.
He said he paid $74 for 2 of them, and Glenn asked him if he shipped it built.
Yeah, that probably even be easy. The best way to do it is ship it built. That would have been funny though. Give him it would weigh the same, right? It would just be a bigger box.
I was going to say, we're around the $45, $45 viewer mark. So
wow,
far.
Nice.
So
wow, you even got 4 thumbs down. Good job. Sorry, Chris. Man, we're keep talking over each other. I'm sorry. I said you even got 4 thumbs down. That's awesome. 4 people watched your show and said they actually didn't like it. That's crazy. You want me to do some more call outs?
Like I say, for the people that are watching, if you like what we talk about, hit the like button. If you don't, well then hit the don't like, dislike. It doesn't bother me either way. We're getting the information out that we want to get out tonight. So
right, and if you don't like it this week, watch next week, because you might like next week.
And Andy just showed up a little late.
Oh man, Angie, I'm gonna start calling you me, because I'm usually the one that's late to Chris's shows. Now I don't have that option to be late.
And I saw a Freddie Carroll said he's new to the new here, so welcome, Freddie.
Welcome. Yeah. Let's see who else is here. The Violet Lemon. I don't think I hollered out that person. Oh, Chad gave us a thumbs down. What a nice guy.
And I'll ask again while we're at the 20-minute mark or so. I know a lot of Bruja the last time on my Wednesday night shows, and Andy goes to sleep about the time I'm thinking about bumping it to. But for anybody watching, we're thinking about moving the show up another hour on Sunday night, so I am consistent on the same time for both shows. So that way people know what time I'm on and they don't have to ask or wonder what day of the week it is. So if you think that starting at 10 o'clock Eastern time is good for you, or if you want to watch it after it's live, that's fine with me too. I know a lot of people say do what's best for me. I will eventually do that, but I want to have your input in what's good for your viewing pleasures.
Well, and we can do a holler out for Coco. She says, Chad and Chris, I made my 8K goal this month so far. So congratulations, Coco. That's awesome.
Very good, Coco. I knew you.
And it's not even over yet. You still got almost 10 days. Go for a personal best this month.
And Swamp says, hit the like button if you are a real picker. Well, now we're not going to get into that Well,
That's a
people say
whole
that,
nother question.
that's what I was going to say. Some people saying going into that, then you're going to have people say that who wrote and who's not doing real full time is not real, and it's that the other thing, and we're not getting into that debate.
I guess I should hit the like button. Okay, I did now. Pretty sad when I didn't even like the show I'm on.
And she said she'll let us know what by the end of the month what her final numbers are.
Nice, very good.
So,
Very good.
if you have any other topics, any other things you want to talk about common sense, or have questions for us, now is a good time. And while I'm thinking about that, tentatively, I want to say tentatively, even though I was told no problem, but you never know what will happen between now and Wednesday night. I have got Craigslist Hunter coming on to the R show Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. So,
And we're gonna be discussing the pros and cons of a brick and mortar store, correct?
well, I was going to do a little combination of the brick and mortar and dealing with eBay because, for example, I don't know if his workers accidentally put something on eBay and then it sells in the store, or it sells on eBay and then it sells in the store. Next to it, what does he do?
Sure, just the logistics of having both. That's for sure. Yeah. I've often wondered that too. I mean, I know people that sell on multiple platforms and they have a way to differentiate when sell it here, you pull it there, but when it's actual, and that's just another platform, I guess, being brick and mortar. So that will be cool.
We were reaching out to a couple of people, and one said that he will have to wait till after the Labor Day weekend. So that will be in September sometime we're going to be getting that person. And you reached out to somebody that hasn't gotten back to you yet, and I kind of warned you about reaching out to them yet.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm still gonna work it. I will hound that person. We'll figure it out. I figure since he hasn't answered at all, he may not be. Maybe he's on vacation or something, because he typically would answer. So by not hearing anything, I'm thinking maybe he hasn't heard my spiel yet. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I'm not gonna give out who it is, but I will say, Chad, if we get this person, it's on the Wayne, not me.
It's on me, Chad. It's on me. So
that Chad's probably sitting there wondering, who the heck are they talking about? Why am I being brought up in the middle of it?
Well, he might figure it out. It's not too tough. But we'll see.
Well.
So, let's see.
I'm not seeing any questions or anything about. Well, what about for you, Dwayne? What is another common sense thing that I told you I'd let you spiel a little bit about the world instead of just the.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just I guess I'm becoming an old crotchety old man because there's just a lot of common sense things out there that people, if they just took an extra 10 seconds and thought about it, they wouldn't have to ask this question. And I'm not saying all, a true question should always be asked, but I think a little bit of research before the question would go a long ways in a lot of questions that are asked. Just think about it for 10 seconds, an extra, think about it from a different point of view. I have my kids are older now. I got 23 and 18 and a 16. And sometimes they ask me questions and I just look at them like, you must be from your mother because you're not from me if you ask questions like that. Think about this now, it just sometimes I look at them like they're just silly, because I think, if you just thought 10 more seconds, you'd have that answer. And I wouldn't even have to be wasting time here. And I think that goes not just with today's society, because answers are so easily given everywhere. I mean, you can ask any question you have, question you need answered, you can ask Google, right? and Google will tell you 9 times out of 10 what you need to know, or it'll get you to where it needs to go. And I think that because of that, everybody is so quick to ask those questions before, asking those common sense questions before thinking about it. So, I haven't even been watching the chat. Are people
Chad
dogging
made a
on me?
comment. Chad says, I don't use the phrase "no question is a dumb question" anymore.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It used to be that no question was dumb, but now it's like, well, that is kind of a dumb question, because if you think about it for an extra minute, you'd have that answer. So.
Well, that's why like a lot of when they ask questions, a lot of people notice I say, "What research have you done?" And it's like I still have to feel like I have to baby him by saying I'm not trying to be rude, but I want to know what work you've done, so we don't. Not say we, meaning the whole community, don't do the same work that they already did.
Right, for sure. And like those kind of questions, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, we had Henry on last week on Wednesday. So if there's somebody that has a disability and you don't know it, it's kind of hard to not feel like you're being rude to him either. Because there was a couple times I asked Henry that. I said, "Have you done any research?" And then I found out later that he had a disability in another group, and I'm like, "Oops, don't I feel a little not necessarily good, but not bad?" It's like I said the same thing I would to anybody else, but not knowing what disability somebody has or where their brain is.
Sure.
You don't want to push them to the point where they're like, "Well, I'm not coming to that group. I'm not going to do this." And there's something I don't think about that. So.
And exactly. I mean, I would probably never come back with a snide remark or a sarcastic remark to somebody I didn't know. Like my kids, or if you asked me a question, of course I'd give you a ration of shit if it was something obvious, just because I know you. But somebody that I may not know, you're right. I don't know if I would jump to the conclusion that they're just asking a common sense question, or maybe a lot of times you can aim them in the right direction so they can kind of figure it out themselves as well. Yeah, just like Black Eyed Joe said, human nature is lazy. Most want to be spoon-fed. I agree. Sometimes, I'm the same way. I would love to be spoon-fed everything, but I think you get a lot more out of it, and you learn a lot more, and you do a much better job if you have to work for it.
I'm not gonna read what Chad said. Everybody else in the chat can see it, but I'm not reading it. Going on Grumpy says, "To crazy. I have ADHD. I ask a lot of questions, and just because my thought process is all over the place, not because I am lazy." See, that's what I'm saying. So they might need to ask all those questions just to get them out of their head.
Right. And like I said, if I don't know a person, then I'm going to answer it with the best way I can think of to not put them down, but to also make sure that they understand that maybe there's a better way to find these questions out. Doing a little research or something. So, yeah, of course, like I said, questions are meant to be asked. It's just sometimes you get some serious questions, and it's like, I can't believe this is you're asking this. Like some of the ones I saw earlier. I can't remember, if I don't buy it, or can I sell it, or something like that. Some crazy. It's an obvious question. So
in a roundabout way, we're tying both shows from Wednesday night to tonight too, because you got to use common sense in not knowing what somebody's like or what they're going through at the time that they ask a question. So you don't want to, like we said, alienate them. So you have, like you said, you got to figure out how not to. You don't want to baby them, but you don't want to be like, okay, that's the question. You're out of the group. Granted, other people might delete the post.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
So I don't.
Well, there you
go. So I may delete it later after it gets a little out of hand.
Right. Yeah. Of course. If it starts getting to be a punching match, then yeah, you got to do something.
So. Like I was pulled into a chat tonight before the show because somebody thought brought up somebody else's Facebook page
Oh wow.
into the chat, and it's like somebody said that's stock. They made a comment saying it was stalkerish or whatever it was, and the person like how is and I had to come in and say this person is right. This group is not for talking about a personal page. You don't know what's going on. It's so.
Sure. I mean, there's got to be moderators just to keep things in line. I have got here is it that you guys are complaining about questions from the viewers?
No, we're
no.
not complaining about questions. We're talking about more or less common sense in general. Just different questions, like we were saying, that in a group or even in the chat, sometimes there's questions that you don't know what the person's going through mentally or whatever, that they just are having to get things off their chest in question form, and we're trying to be the polite way of directing them without being
belittling
rude
them
or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not normally the people in the chat. It's sometimes you'll just see a question and it'll be like, "Are you kidding me?" But like me and Chris have been saying, you have to actually look back and think, okay, is this a real question? Is there a reason this is being asked, or is this somebody just trying to be, a smart ass? So
no. Let's see, we got about 10 more minutes or so. That's why he started watching and not asking questions, so not to appear dumb.
You know what? You're not dumb. I'm sure you're not dumb. But you did think about it. I mean, it's good to do that. Find a way to answer your questions, especially if you feel that you're unintelligent, which I'm sure you're not. But a good way is to watch YouTube, watch somebody, or talk to somebody, or listen to somebody that knows a lot about your subject. Then it's not really a dumb question. You just pick up the information that you would have asked. So,
well, we have a question, I think, from Violet Lemon. And
you want me to read it, or you want to read it? Okay, go ahead.
They asked, do you have young people that you mentor with their eBay business? How do you handle their questions? I don't have anybody yet, but I mean, Amelia has reached out to me on Facebook. I've had other people reach out, and I've started giving them suggestions that I get aside from people that I learned from. And I tell them, this is where I learned it from. That way, if they have a question that I can't answer, they know who to go to and say, so Chris said that you taught him how to do this. Is there another way to help or whatever? I try passing on as much as I can. That's why I do these shows, and I'm in the chats all the time. I'm learning too. When I do these shows, I learn from the guests, I learn from you, I learn from the viewers. So,
well, and I think that's why we do these shows. It's not just for to help other people. We learn a lot too. Everybody, if there's people out there that know so much more about different subjects than I'll ever know. I don't know anything about I don't know, fine art. I know nothing about fine art, but I'm sure there's people out there that do. And so in order for me to find that stuff out, I would go to watch their videos. Back to the question from whoever it was. I'm not mentoring anybody, but just like Chris said, if I was asked questions that as a beginner, I would say, well, these are the people that I learned from. I can show you, but by aiming them towards another person's point of view, sometimes that makes a lot of difference. Some people are just not born teachers. I know a friend that he's very intelligent, but he has a very hard time getting information across. So sometimes having a different point of view or a different way of being taught something is easier.
Even if it is sounding like it's regurgitated with all the shows that we do. How many shows are there a week? At least one show a week, if not more, during the week. And sometimes we talk about the same topic all week.
Sure.
Depending on who's talking, you're like, wait a minute, I didn't hear that with so-and-so. But then you go watch their video again, and you're like, wait, yes, he did say that.
Sure. Yeah, that's for sure. And going on, Grumpy says he loves to teach it, and I enjoy teaching as well. I don't know if I'm a good teacher because you'd have to ask people that I've talked to, but um, I think I'm usually pretty good at getting my point across, or if not, knowing where to send the person to get the correct answer. So.
Yeah, that's like I said. There's times how many times have you seen? I haven't typed you yet because I don't know your expertise yet. But
Oh, I
I'm
don't
sure
have one.
if you watch some of the comments, like I know you say you don't go into the groups too often, but when there's a question I don't know the answer, I'll tag Chad. I'll tag somebody else and say, "Is this good for you? Is this up your alley?" Or if
And
you're
I
not
do
doing
the same thing actually. If it's something that I know, there's been a couple times when somebody's asked something, and I've tagged people that I knew that knew a lot about a specific subject. Have a good evening, Tanya. Go watch your Naked and Afraid. I can't imagine that we're any worse off than Naked and Afraid. I mean, come on. We should be able to be better than Naked. Yeah, we're dressed, so that's great.
And Chad's got to go too. So that's part of why I'm wondering about the question about moving it up an hour on a Sunday because a lot of people do work Mondays. I mean, they work Wednesday, Thursday, so it's we'll have to figure out what's best for us.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure Chad will figure a way to stick around if he does it on Wednesday nights. He can do it on a Sunday night.
Yeah, I don't know why he's saying bedtime. Are you serious? He doesn't really go to bed, right? He can get up anytime he likes.
There's times I talk to him after the fact, and then there's times I don't. And I don't know what they may have a set thing. Okay, this time we're spending family time, and we'll leave it at
See,
that.
it's only 8 o'clock. I don't know what he's griping about. It's only 8 o'clock. I know it's 10 there, but it's 8 o'clock here.
Yeah, actually 9 o'clock his time. He's central.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is central, isn't he?
Yep.
Any other questions in the chat?
Oh, Coco, we're just joking around with Chad. I know he always says about this time he's got to go. So, and if I've already told him if I did bump any of the shows on the show up an hour, with say date night.
All right. Go take care, Kim.
Hey, he's a good husband. Just so, like I said, if we did well up the next an hour, I know that chat people will watch and everything else. And if you don't, because it's timing. So me and Dwayne and Rebecca will talk about it during the week and figure it out. Because like I said, I wouldn't mind having Dwayne on the show weekly too. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to bump it up. He has a scheduled dinners with his family after the, and when he jumps in at 7 o'clock our time, that's pushing his dinner back an hour.
And that can, I mean, I can push it back. It's usually not that big a deal. We'll work it out.
Yeah, but I don't want to just how his family will start saying, well, how come we're gonna have this dinner late every week? You know, I want to have any. You never know how the family can get. Some people will be like, well, I got plans. I don't want to wait another hour to eat.
Yeah, well, I got you. Let's see what we got. Man, let's see. Scotty Bay's Vlogs is here. Joni, I don't think I hollered you out. I saw you were up earlier, so.
Yeah, and Andy says it's 10 o'clock her time.
Right, because you're over.
I know Wednesday night she had a hard time. She'll sit in her bed and watch us on Wednesday nights.
Do we get to put her to sleep? Are we that good? Should we lull her to sleep?
So I don't know if she wants to do it 2 nights a week, but we'll think about it. Well, if anything, we'll wait an extra week before I bump it up. That way I have enough time we'll let people know by Wednesday.
Sure.
Because I don't want to just do it out of the blue without talking to you and Rebecca. And Rebecca basically said it'd be tough for her, but it's already tough for her to get here now.
Right.
So that's why if she becomes the third head and he becomes co-host. It works out that way. When she's able to make it, she's able to make it. When she's not, so.
Sure. So, any other common sense questions that you've come across before we close out?
No, I don't have anything in the. I hit all my topics, and I guess we didn't really have any. That's the one was the world common sense part.
Right, just the sure how bad it is out there. True. Do not stick beans up your nose. That's a tip. Okay. Turtle, I think you need to get off. You need to get off the liquor, man. I think you're tearing it up tonight.
I want to thank everybody for watching. I know we hit at least 45 viewers at the highest point tonight. So I'm glad that numbers are going up a little bit. And like I said, you watch this later on in the week before Wednesday night. Let us know if 10 o'clock Eastern time is a good start time for you. And we'll take that into account. And we will see you Wednesday night again, tentatively. I'm having Craigslist Hunter on, Pete. So we will see you that Wednesday night. And I will definitely see you in the comments before then. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Good night, everybody. You can say good night, Dwayne.
Oh, I suppose. Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.